This is the biggest fight in boxing for many, many years. Finally, Canelo Crawford. How do you both feel right now? Let's start with you, Terence. How do you feel sitting this close to this guy, knowing this is the fight the world wants to see?
I feel great, to be sitting next to another great, and we both preparing to go make history. So I feel great to be in this position right now.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel glad to share that ring with one of the best fighters out there in the last past years. So I always try to do that. In my career, I accomplish everything. I try to fight the best out there, and this is no exception. So I'm glad to be in this kind of fights.
I mean, look, you're being very nice about each other, very polite, very friendly, very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
But in a few months' time, you're going to be getting into a ring in Las Vegas and punching 7 bells out of each other. Is it not a weird dynamic to be sitting here like this, like your best friends?
When you know what kind of fighter you are, you know what kind of fighter you're gonna face, you don't need to talk shit about each other. When I step in the ring with, and I'm pretty sure when he step in the ring, we're gonna give it all there for the fans. I'm not that guy to like to talk shit about the other or the opponents. We know we are good fighters. We're gonna give everything in the ring to put a good fight, and sometimes people talk shit a lot, and when they stay in the ring, they do nothing. So we don't, in my opinion, I don't need to talk shit about it.
How do you feel?
Well, me personally, I know it's a mutual respect between me and Canelo. He ain't never disrespect me, so therefore there was no need for me to disrespect him. Come fight time, we definitely gonna try to take each other's heads off, and the closer the fight goes, we both gonna be eager to, show who's the more dominant fighter, and our intentions is gonna be pure, but at the same time, it's not gonna be friendly, So I think you can be, cordial in building a fight up.
I mean, I'm impressed that you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Professionals, we've been doing this for a long time.
I get it. But I also know there's a reality check because you're going to want to knock each other out.
Yeah.
Right. At what point?
That boxing is all about that.
Yeah.
So we know boxing is, you need to hurt your opponent the most you can. So that's boxing all about. We know that, but like I say, we don't need to talk shit out of the ring because not needed there.
You both had similar upbringings in the sense you both experienced bullying when you were both very young. When do you remember that moment when the light switch came on and you realized that these could do your business for you?
When I probably was 15, like 14, 15, fighting in the national tournaments. That's when I really started getting serious in the sport of boxing and told myself I really can take this boxing career to the next level, and start focusing on trying to be a world champion. Ever since I was a little kid, I always said I was going to be a world champion, So being a little kid, playing multiple sports, you just get confused at times. You don't know which sport to pick. But as I got older and I was so small, 4'11" in the 9th grade, I was like, well, too short to play basketball, too small to play football, gotta go back to boxing. So when I went back to boxing, that's when I dedicated my life and my time to the sport of boxing.
There were several things that happened to you before that. One was you got kicked out of 5 schools. Tell me about that. What was going on there?
Well, I just always had the urge to fight when someone disrespected me. I had a bad temper. I was a hot-headed kid, so growing up, you know, people talk about you and they talk about your clothes, they talk about your shoes, they talk about, you know, how dark you is and things like that. And for me, you know, it was just like I didn't have the jokes. I didn't have the jokes to make everybody laugh, you know, so I just beat people up. And then that's how people start noticing me like, oh, man, don't leave him alone, you know. He gonna beat you up. So that's how.
Did you say that they would racially slur you as well?
No, you know, you got people that just joke about you. You know what I mean? Like just call you dark, crusty. You know, just you know, not I would say white people, but like black people. Like you know, they just joke on you. And at the times, I didn't have the jokes. You know, but I had the fist. So people would say things, and you know, and that's all it took me to you know get to that level. And I used to get kicked out of school.
You had an extraordinary situation where your mother, Deborah, I mean, she would beat you with a belt. You've talked about that. But she had also paid local kids in the neighborhood to try and fight you and to beat you. I mean, they failed. You used to deal with them, but it's a very unusual thing for a mother to do. Have you been able to get to the bottom of why she did that?
Well, I used to get whoopings because I was bad. You know, it's a part of discipline. Ain't nothing wrong with disciplining your kids when they not following directions, when they not listening. You know, I think we all need to discipline our kids. It's in the Bible to discipline your kids.
The thing of getting other kids to fight?
But that I think it was more so of a competitive nature in her, being that her brother was a boxer. My dad was a boxer. My dad's dad was a boxer. My uncles was boxers. So she comes from a boxing family. She grew up in the boxing gym. So me being a little bad kid running around, not listening, she'd be like, all right, let me see how good you is. I'm gonna pay this little kid, see if he can whoop you. You know, things like that. And I'll whoop him every time. You know, so.
Well, you make it sound perfectly normal, but that's not normal.
And we call it the ghetto.
Right.
And the ghetto where I come from, you know, it's normal to us. It may not be normal to you because you don't come from those type of beginnings. You know, I can remember, you know, if you didn't fight, when you go home, you get in trouble for not defending yourself. You know, and if you did fight and your mom was there and you got whooped, then you go home and get another whooping. You know, so you better not lose in front of your mom. So that's the times where I come from. Now you see kids and people don't fight no more. They shoot, stab, you know, and pick up weapons. So it's not like the times where I grew up.
Canelo, you had a not dissimilar upbringing. You were the youngest of 7 boys, 8 kids in all. Again, a pretty poor childhood. It wasn't like you were born into any great sense of money or anything. You learned to fight as well. You were picked on because you were small, you were shy, you had red hair, you had freckles. You joked that you must have had an Irish grandfather. Have you got an Irish grandfather?
No.
I'm Irish, I'm asking the question. But you got picked on and bullied. And a little bit like Terence, you know, your father, I think when you were 6, he sent you to sell ice creams at a bus station and get on the buses and try and sell them. And you'd be picked on, people would torment you. And then you got to about 11 years old and the switch went for you. And you beat up a bully outside your family home. And you made his nose bleed. And you've talked about that moment as being the moment when you went, okay, I really enjoyed that. And there was no way back for you then. Tell me.
Yeah, I was playing soccer at that time, you know, when that happened. And this guy threw me a punch and put me cry. So and then I punched him back, and then there started everything.
Do you remember that punch?
Yeah, I remember.
You remember how it made you feel?
Yeah, great.
Did it?
Yeah.
Seeing the blood spurt everywhere.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm the opposite of him in the same situation. I'm the only red hair with freckles, and everybody's bullying me and everything. And I don't want anybody to tell me bad things about me. So I punch it back and everything, and I defend myself. But it's part of the life. In my situation, when you coming from nothing, it's part of the life, and you need to take care of your life somehow.
I mean, you come from very different places, obviously, but in a way,
it's the same.
Quite a similar story.
Yeah.
You talk about the ghetto. It would have been a version of that for you that you're describing, I guess. What is interesting to me is you both come from that kind of background where you had to fight to survive, really. And you both discovered you were really good at it.
Yeah.
And now we get to today. You're 37, I think you're 34. And you're unbeaten. You've only lost twice. Once to Mayweather when you were very young, never fought him at your peak. And you lost one other fight. You both pretty much have gone through your entire lives winning.
Yeah.
And now you're going to fight each other. That's what makes this fight so fascinating for the world, because you two are both used to winning, but only one person can win in Vegas.
Yeah, and plus at that life we have almost similar. So I think this is a very, very special fight. In my opinion, this is a very special fight because two greats in the last era fighting each other. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be the biggest fight in a long time.
No question. What does it do to your two legacies? What does it do to yours if you lose? Your unbeaten record goes.
Definitely. My unbeaten record goes, and I can't imagine thinking about getting beat. That's not something that I think about.
We've never had it as a professional fighter.
Yeah, but I never like to think about losing. It comes to each and every one of our minds as a fighter. What if? But that's why we train so hard, so that if can deteriorate, in camp. But, a win against Canelo Alvarez, what it would do to my career would put me, on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
I think I would be one of the greatest fighters ever.
No question. Yeah. If you were to lose, what would it do to your legacy?
A fighter never think about lose, right? Always prepare yourself to win, no matter how, no matter what. So I always thinking in my win. I know I have 2 losses, but I give it all there. So, and I'm always focused, always training 100% in what I have in front. And I know I have a very complicated fighter there, but I fought everybody already, every style, and I'm gonna put my everything there, all my talent, my experience, and the best man is gonna win. But the people are gonna watch amazing fight.
No question. It's a massive fight. It's gonna break a lot of records. This. You've both talked about the dangers of this sport you do. This is not like any other sport. This is a sport where people have died in the ring. This is a sport where people get left paralyzed. They get put in wheelchairs. We've seen what happened even to the greatest of the greats, like Muhammad Ali, when they fight too long. Does that play on your mind, Terence, as you get to 37? You must be thinking, probably not got that many more fights in my career. I don't want to get into a situation, as many believe, say Ali did with the Larry Holmes fight, where you take one too many fights, you take too big a beating, and that ruins the rest of your life. Do you think about that?
Of course. I always said I was going to retire from boxing. I wasn't going to let boxing retire me. But this is a sport that we in. We in the hurt business. We know what to expect. We know what's at risk. We know the things that can happen. That's why you got to set yourself up for when something like that was to ever happen, you got to be secure all around the board. You got to know what you're doing it for. You got to have a why. You got to have your life set up after boxing. You got to have your life set up just in case something dramatic happened. You know, if something happened to me, my family is good. I'm good, you know, as long as they good, because that's what I'm doing it for.
Do you ever feel fear in the ring?
No.
Never?
No.
You won't when you step in with him?
No.
You've never fought a guy that big. He's significantly bigger than anyone you fought before. And he's one of the all-time greats. And he's younger than you. You're not going to feel apprehensive when you get in that ring against him?
Fear? No.
I will for you, and I'm not even you.
That's cool. As a fighter, you know, we get nervous, but we never get, well, I can't speak for everybody else. I never get scared because I've been doing it for so long. I've been in the ring with guys bigger than Canelo. I done fought guys in the streets with bare knuckles that's bigger than Canelo, you know? So as a fighter, with the skills that I pose, that with the, you know, fighters that I've been in the ring with, the fear is, you know, I fear for what I'm doing. You haven't fought
professionally against somebody as big as him?
Not at all. Not at all.
And it doesn't unnerve you at all?
Not at all.
It's interesting to watch all the legends of the game, of the sport, and they talk about, some think you're going to win, some think you're going to lose. The ones who think you're going to lose, they say it's because of the weight issue, that you're having to go up 2 weights. You've never fought professionally at this level, and you're up against one of the all-time greats. They think that if it comes down to you losing, that's why you lose.
Well, I think, you know, Canelo is very skillful. You know, I think they just basing their opinion off of his size. And me personally, I'm not going in this fight looking at his size. You know, he's a tremendous boxer. He's a tremendous counterpuncher. He got good defense, you know. We watched Canelo a lot for a long time, and the reason why he's at the top of the sport is not because of his size. Canelo's always been a smaller fighter going into the ring if you watch his career. You know, he's never been the bigger fighter. You know, only in a couple of fights with like Amir Khan and Charlo and them like that. But for the most part, Canelo's always fighting the bigger guy. So
what do you think he's better at than you?
I don't know.
In terms of skill? I
don't know.
Yeah, you do. You've watched all his fights.
I don't know.
You do. You've got a whole list.
My thing is this.
What is it? The stuff that you and your team, you've watched every fight he's done. I know you have.
Canelo is a great fighter.
Yeah.
And we all have agreed on that, but
can you accept he's better than you at anything or not?
No, I cannot. I cannot say that another man is better than me in anything.
Because it's weak to do that.
No, because he ain't proven it yet. I can't say if his jab is better than mine because I haven't been in the ring with him. I can't say if a person's right hand is better than mine because everything that I do, I feel I do it great. So
let me ask you the same question. He's a very confident man. He's never lost a professional fight. And yeah, right, he's coming up in weights, but he's exuding chilling confidence. Even for you, to hear him talk like that, does that concern you?
No,
he has no fear?
No, I like that because that's when you realize it's going to be a good fight. I like that. I like to hear that because it's when you realize it's going to be a great fight, and I love it. I enjoy it.
What do you think you're better at than him?
You know, he is a very skillful fighter. He has maybe a lot of things better than me, but fighters judge me behind or out of the ring, but when they into the ring with me, they find out it's different. So
what is different?
Because I have a lot of talent, a lot of things, a lot of things they don't know till they in the ring with me. So and I can't say anything about how it's gonna work and everything because I never fought Terrence Crawford before, right? We want to find out September 13th. That's why we are here, to see who is the best. So I can say whatever, many things.
But you think you're the best, right?
Of course. Of course.
And he thinks he's the best.
Of course.
That's why I like this fight.
Yeah.
Because I think you both genuinely believe that.
Yeah. And we want to go in. Personally, I want to go into the ring feeling like I'm the best. So same here.
Do you get to a stage nearer the fight when you start to have to hate each other?
I don't hate nobody I fight.
But do you find whenever you come to a big fight, you have to get into a different mindset?
I think I already have that. That's why I'm a fighter, because my instinct is there. So
to hate your opponent?
No, being in the ring, when I'm stepping in the ring, all the things go out and you need to change your mind.
I'm talking about the weeks before the fight.
No,
when we get to like August and you're a few weeks away, do you have to switch into a more aggressive mindset against your opponent? Do you have to end up hating that person so much?
I won't say hate, dislike.
Dislike, yeah.
You know, we about to go in the ring and try to knock each other heads off. So, and in that moment, you know, I'm gearing up to not liking them, but respect is all, you know. But come ring walk, all that goes out the window because my mind is going to be focused and clear. You got two alpha males over here that know what they capable of, so they don't have to put on a front or a show. You know, we're gonna give the fans a show for sure, but we know what we both capable of.
Well, you're both capable of extreme violence. You've said, I think, that even all your knockouts as a professional, you've never really felt you've unloaded the biggest punch. It's been more a question of skill than brute force and power. Many people think you're going to have to unload a big knockout punch, like everything you've got to take him out. Have you thought about that?
No, because it don't take a big punch to knock somebody out. It's the ones that you don't see that hurt you. All my fights that I loaded up and I try to catch somebody, you know what I mean, with a big shot, I typically miss or they see it at the last minute and they brace for it. You know, the ones that just flow is the ones that get you.
You feel that way?
Yeah, I agree. When you try to hit so hard, you never find out the guy. Like sometimes you throw a punch without thinking and go. Yeah.
So
you feel nothing. You feel like it's not really like a punching hard. Like what the fuck?
Oh, I've seen the videos.
Yeah.
I mean, you two unnerve me because you're just being so nice and you're so respectful of each other. And then there's just a little glint in your eyes when you talk about bodies lying on the floor that I know what you're capable of. I've seen it. You both have ferocious punches. Mm-hmm. Do you think your biggest punch is bigger than his because of your weight?
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a one-puncher fighter. I feel like I'm more like a throwing punches and set it up and everything. And I don't think I'm a single punch.
Your reach is longer, right?
Right.
You got longer arms. Mm-hmm. Is that a big advantage with someone to keep him away from you?
It could be in some cases, but in some cases it could be, a disadvantage. Canelo's real good at slipping inside shots, and mid-range, that could be his advantage. So I never think about just because I got long arms, that can be my advantage. Yeah, it's an advantage on the outside, but then if the fight goes to the inside, it's what you do with your long arms. How short can you throw your shots? So I'm well-rounded on all playing fields.
Are you training against people who look like him? Do you do that?
It's hard to find somebody that fights just like an opponent that you got, So we got sparring partners that's going to be coming in that, have the size, have the
ginger hair.
Nah.
Ginger.
Nah, man. You just for me, never fighting at 168.
Right.
You know, you want to get those guys that, you know, can lay on you, that can push you around and things like that, because you never know what
weight are you right now?
I don't know, 155.
So you got a way to go. You got to bulk up a lot.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
No, but you have to, right?
Nah.
Is that not concerning?
No.
It's a lot to put on, isn't it? I mean, I can put it on in one big meal, but for you, as a finely tuned athlete who's been at a certain weight, to get to that weight, that's a big leap for you. Does that not concern you about knocking you off your rhythm, your style, your movement?
No, not at all, because I just look at us fighters as we carry a lot of weight anyway. You know, I just be fighting at one of my natural weights. And
when he says he's fought bigger guys than you, bare knuckle. When he said he's fought bigger guys than you, bare knuckle in the street.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? You done the same?
I believe it. I believe him. But it's different. It's different. It's way different. In boxing, it's different. You can grab a guy in the street, can weigh like 300 pounds, and what happened?
Do you ever get guy? I did the Celebrity Apprentice with Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
So we spent many weeks together in New York. Donald Trump was the host. But he told me when he used to go out in New York to the clubs, the biggest guy in the club would always try and take him on. Like it was like a badge of honor.
But
Do you guys
more
get
bigger than him?
Huh?
Than Leonard Lewis?
Well, there were a few. But
That's hard to find.
Well, I said to him, well, what would happen? He said, dude, what do you think happened? I was a heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
So he just banged him over. So, but it happened a lot. Do you guys, when you go out, do you get the toughest guy in the room, the bar, the club? Do they come and try it on or not?
No. Sometimes they try, but hey, I get paid for fights, so
Yeah.
So you don't.
I don't care.
You don't engage with them.
No.
When was the last time
I don't
you
need
had
it. When I was 17.
That was the last fight you had outside of the ring?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I turned professional fighter at 50.
And you've never had a fight out in the street since?
No.
Have you?
I can't remember the last time I had a street fight. I can't remember.
What would happen if someone...
I try to avoid it, you know, because like he said, we professional fighters. You know, we get paid for fighting. It would be foolish for us to go out, fight somebody, break a hand, you know, get sued or get in some trouble or potentially kill somebody.
Right.
Just off of...
It's a lethal weapon.
Yeah, off of stupidity. Yes.
Could you kill me with your bare hands?
I could. I'll choke you
Look
out.
how quick you both said yes.
Wow.
True.
I wouldn't even
Wow,
punch
you both went, yeah. like you want to right now.
You want me to lie you?
Wow.
No.
Both of you, like, bang, bang, yeah. Yeah, right now.
For sure.
You could, right?
Definitely.
You could kill me with just...
Easy.
Really?
Yeah.
How would you kill me out of interest?
Just one punch.
Really?
Yeah. Because, let me tell you why. Because you don't used to
Getting hit.
getting here, so...
You've no idea about my fight record.
Oh, well, I don't know, but...
I grew up with two brothers. Trust me.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 60.
You going to sleep. He said I'm 60. You going to
No,
sleep.
mate, I've sparred with Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, sparring.
There's a video.
We talk about bare knuckles, you going to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you know...
Look at the relish you both say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you love that. Though.
Have you ever sparred?
Huh?
Have you ever sparred?
I'm actually doing boxing training at the moment.
Oh, no.
Once a week. I get in.
You
with
can
the
come
mates.
to my training camp and we can... I can show you just a little bit.
But you reckon you would take one punch?
No, whatever. If you want
You
me
could
to...
kill me with one punch?
Yes.
And you could?
I'm not going to punch you. I'm
No,
going
but
to choke
could
you.
you kill me with one punch?
Huh?
Could you kill me with one punch?
Depends on where you get hit at.
Yeah, but you know where you're hitting. You're the expert.
I'm just saying, if you
He says he could do it with one punch.
if you get hit in the temple,
Yeah, right
that's
there.
hard. It's over with for you.
I'm going to sleep
You-
and not waking up.
Yeah.
You see, that's it. See, look at you two now. Now I've drawn out of you the what's really there. Because until now you've been like very respectful, nice guys.
Why,
You could be accountants,
why
right?
you want...
But in that moment when I say, "Could you kill me with a punch?" Both of you, yeah, bang. I see it.
It is what it is.
Yes, you're basically killing machines to people like me. Not to each other, hopefully, but to people like me. But it's a natural instinct, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
The warrior instinct is just very real.
For some reason, we are fighters, right? I think we have that instinct inside.
You had an extraordinary moment when you were younger, before you turned pro, I think, where you were shot. You'd been playing, I think, some form of card game or something, and then you got shot where you were in a car and it hit the back windscreen. If it hadn't done that, it probably would have killed you. Tell me about that.
Well, I really too much don't like to talk about negativity, but, you know, it was things that happened in the past that's past me now, the type of lifestyle that I was living. I'm no longer living that lifestyle, so.
Where somebody was trying to kill you deliberately?
No, it was just, you know, wrong place at the wrong time.
So it wasn't deliberate?
Wrong place at the wrong time.
Somebody would say that if it was deliberate, but they didn't want to talk about it.
I'll just say wrong place at the wrong time.
What happened to the guy who tried to shoot you?
I don't know.
You don't know? Or you don't want to tell me?
It ain't nothing to talk about.
It's kind of fascinating. I mean,
I got shot.
I only know two people in the world who've been shot and grazed and survived. You're one, and Donald Trump, who's a friend of mine, was the other. And I talked to him about it, the fact that in that moment, he realized that God was giving him another chance to live. Did you feel that?
That's exactly what it was, you know, and that's why I'm here, because it's destined. You know, I changed my life around and I gave my life to the sport of boxing, and everything else is history.
I'm not going to labor the point, mainly because I can see your knuckles twitching, but the moment you realized you'd survived it, what was going through your head?
Nothing. I wanted to fight. I was actually supposed to fight a few weeks later. So I was kind of mad. I was still trying to fight, and they had canceled my fight, and I was just like, man, that was just an eye-opener. It was a kind of like a wake-up call, like God just telling me, you know, you got too much talent and skills to be in the streets and doing what you're doing. Like, get your life together.
Where did you get hit?
Right here.
Back of your head?
Yeah.
And am I right that if it hadn't been deflected slightly, it would have gone straight in your head?
For sure. And the distance that it was fired from.
It was very close.
No, it wasn't very close. So all that played a factor. But everything happened for a reason.
Yeah, but it's a miraculous escape. Yeah. Miraculous that you're here to tell that story.
Oh.
And was it that moment, like you say, that changed your life? When you think back, was that the moment that you could have gone that way or that way?
Definitely. I had a choice to make. So I made the right choice.
Do you think about it much?
Not at all. Like I said, it's behind me. Ain't nothing to bring up, ain't nothing to, you know, keep talking about.
When you saw what happened to Donald Trump, did it bring it back to you?
No, not at all.
Really? What do you think of that story?
It's hard, but I see a lot of that before. So, but like he say, things happen for a reason. He have something in this life to accomplish. He don't know yet, but he gonna find out later. That's why he don't get hurt that much, because he have something to accomplish in this life. Maybe it's not nothing to do in boxing. It's something to do in his life, and he's gonna find that in some point.
Have you lost friends when you were young?
Not close friends.
To violence?
No. Yeah, friends, like no friends. Yeah.
Acquaintances?
Yeah.
And you the same, Terence? Have you lost?
Definitely.
Who've been killed, and like, what does it make you feel when that happens, when you're young and you see people you know and maybe care about get killed in that kind of life?
Well, it hurts you, but at the same time, it becomes normal because it's an everyday thing. You know, you've seen so many people die to gun violence, to, you know, the police killing them, to drugs, to, you know, whatever, you know. So it's like, dang, you know, you just try to keep your family and your core loved ones away from that type of circle.
Do you think boxing saved your life?
100%.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
That if it hadn't been for boxing, you may both not be here?
I don't know where I am if I don't choose boxing in my life. But I'm glad I choose boxing, and I don't thinking about what it happen if I don't be a boxer, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just glad to be here, and for some reason. And I don't like to talk about what happened in the past, because I don't like to say, oh, I passed this, and like I feel like I'm that guy, you know. Oh, he happened a lot of things. You know, my life happens like that, and I take everything. I was happy in what I'm doing in my youngest life. So, and for some reason, things happen, and I'm glad just being here.
How lucky is Jake Paul that this fight is happening and you're not going to get in the ring with him?
He's very lucky.
I can't even think what would happen to that guy if he got in the ring with you.
That's hard
I mean, you probably could have killed him.
Could be.
So do you think his life has been saved by this fight?
He's saved now.
I mean, you're probably not even joking, right? I mean,
no, I'm not joking. When I'm stepping in the ring, I'm not joking.
No.
Yeah. So but I don't like to call that as a fight. If happen, it's like an event, right? It's different.
Well, he thinks he's a serious boxer.
Yeah, he thinks. That's the other thing.
What do you guys think of him?
No, look, he's doing good for what he's doing, but talking about real fight is different. But he's doing good things for him, so it's good.
Do you like those sort of fights? I mean, when you see Mike Tyson get back in the ring at my age?
No, I hate that.
Do you?
I hate to see Mike Tyson, the more fierce man in the world, before seeing him doing that kind of stuff. I feel sad as a fighter to see Mike doing that kind of stuff. I personally feel bad about it.
Yes.
You feel as though?
Definitely. You know, I hated it. You know.
Did you watch it?
I watched it.
Out of curiosity?
You know, yeah, but as an icon of the sport, a man that done so much, that overcame so much, to have to come back to the sport, and this guy, Jake Paul, no disrespect against him. I ain't got nothing against him, but can walk around today for the rest of his life to say, I beat Iron Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And it's on my record. That's just heartbreaking.
It's sickening, actually.
Yeah. It's like, man, you tarnish your legacy for money, you know, and that's just, you know, I felt as if that was what he was doing it for, it should have been other avenues that just his name alone should have gave him the outlets to make the money that he needed.
Who's your boxing hero?
My boxing hero? Roy Jones Jr.
Why him?
Man, he was unbeatable in his prime. You know, Roy Jones, inside, outside the ring, he loved to fish, he loved to play basketball. You know, just everything about Roy Jones Jr. I idolized. And then when Floyd Mayweather came on the scene as a young kid, I used to run to the house to watch him and Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. But for me, Roy Jones Jr. will always be my favorite fighter of all time.
But you?
Muhammad Ali.
Right. Yeah.
Because he is like, I like him as a person too. What he doing with people, I like him a lot.
I met him once.
He's a role model.
Yeah, I met him in Los Angeles at a hotel by chance. And I was Muhammad Ali. And I was struck by the way all the staff at the hotel, they reacted to him like he was a kind of godlike figure.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible to watch. It's like a spiritual moment.
Yeah.
They was kind of bowing to him. I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's a good person. He was a good person. Helped a lot of people. That's why, not just because of boxing, because the person he was. And I like that.
Who are your heroes outside boxing, like in the world? Who do you look up to?
Nobody.
Really?
I don't have a hero outside of boxing.
Really? Nobody at all?
Like, I don't know. Like, I was always the type of person that always wanted to be myself. You know, I never wanted to follow behind anybody. I wanted to make my own way. You know, however it was, I wanted to do it my way and how I find the light. So to call somebody my hero is I can't do that.
Do you have a hero?
Yeah, same. I don't think about a hero.
Really?
Having a hero. No.
Only boxing heroes,
Only
nothing
boxing.
outside the ring.
I admire.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I admire.
But a hero is something else. I admire Muhammad Ali, something, a role model. But a hero is like some weird word.
I mean, you are a hero to many Mexicans, right? You're a Mexican hero. Do you carry that weight, that burden on your shoulders? Are you aware of just how important you are to millions of Mexicans?
I don't thinking about that. I'm just glad and thankful with the people support me because it's a lot of them, and I have behind me the whole country. But you know, I don't say I'm your hero and this and that. If they look at me like that, well, that's not my problem. But I just glad to have all the support from the people.
You talked about fame being more dangerous than boxing. And you had a moment where the two came together where one of your brothers was kidnapped before your fight with Rocky Fielding. And it was an extraordinary few days for you because you were negotiating with these kidnappers, but not telling any of the media. And you were doing interviews and press conferences and then the fight without anyone knowing this was going on.
Yeah.
While your brother had been kidnapped by a cartel.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
I don't want to talk about that. I think that moment happens, already passed, and I don't want to talk about that.
But is that why you think fame is more dangerous?
I think, no, I don't think because of that. I think famous is more dangerous than money because when you have fame, everybody's around you. Hey, come here. Let's go to the party. Let's go this. Take this and this and this. And you think you are a god, right? Everybody is around you telling you are the best and this and this. And that's why famous is more dangerous.
I have that all the time. It's a real problem.
Fame is more dangerous than money because if you don't handle that situation good, it's bad for your life.
I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
You still live in Omaha, where you were born. The other two most famous people from Omaha were Marlon Brando and Warren Buffett and Terrence Crawford. It's not a bad little trio, is it?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, arguably you've been as successful at what you've done as they've been in the worlds of finance and movies.
For sure. I look at it like this. Being famous put a target on your back. You know, not just from, people that want to rob, steal, or kill you. You got vultures out there. You got women out there that's going to throw themselves at you to try to trap you. You got people that's going to act like they your friend to try to steal from you. Man, you got people that's not mentally focused that can go the other way and start living a different lifestyle because everything is accessible to them. You know, you got people around you that you got to watch out for, because if they do something, then they part of your entourage, then you get in trouble for it. So it's a lot that comes with it.
How do you control that?
I don't have an entourage.
You're not?
No.
I was surprised today you just walked in with...
Yeah, I don't live like I'm famous. I just live a regular life. I don't think I'm better than nobody. I don't carry myself like I'm this big mega star. I'm just a regular person at the end of the day.
You had a moment in 2018 where Larimore Avenue in Omaha, where you grew up, was renamed Terrence Bud Crawford Street. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Did that mean a lot to you?
It means a lot, because my mom and them still live on that street. My cousin, my sisters. I have a house that I'm living in on the street.
In your own street?
Yeah, so...
Does your mom still get the locals to... Does she still pay them?
Nah.
What does she make of what's happened to your mom?
She love it. My mom was very happy, supportive, and she proud of her baby boy.
Canelo, a difficult question for you, but you're an honest guy. You failed a drugs test and you did a 6-month suspension.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was because you ate some contaminated meat.
And it's proofs there.
Sure, but there are people, as you know, who don't want to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
They think you're a drugs cheat. What do you say to them?
No, people who don't want to believe, they don't believe. Even if it is true what I say or the proofs is there, they want to believe what they want to believe. And I don't really care. I don't really care about it.
Do you not?
No.
You don't feel like it's a little thing on your record that you wish hadn't happened?
No. I don't feel it.
What do you feel about that? Does it bother you?
I just, don't get into it. I think people going to say what they're going to say. It's a sad case that happened. But, in our fight, just hope that none of that comes up. And that's the past, and we looking towards the future.
You're both incredibly rich men. You in particular, I think. How rich are you?
No, I don't know.
You're a billionaire?
Not yet.
Nearly?
Nearly.
Nearly a billionaire?
Yeah.
This fight could take you over?
Maybe.
What would that be like for you, to come from nothing
Zero.
to become a billionaire through fighting?
Very proud moment. Very proud moment, yeah.
What would you say to the bullies
Nothing.
that used to bully you for being freckly and
Thank you.
motivating you?
Thank you, yeah.
So when you pass the billion net worth, you'll be issuing a statement of gratitude to the bullies.
Yeah, I'm going to say thank you.
Very satisfying, eh?
Yeah.
Is it the ultimate answer to these people?
Yeah. I don't have any feelings about that. I just do my thing and thank you for everything.
How rich are you?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I'm not rich.
You do. I look at you and I see that guy knows exactly what he's worth.
I'm not rich.
You know what you're worth, eh?
I know what I'm worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know everything.
What sort of area are we looking?
I don't know.
100 million?
I don't know.
200 million?
I'm not going to tell you.
500 million? I mean, you're not as rich as him because nobody is in boxing.
500 million.
500 million?
No,
You think?
yeah.
You think?
I would.
500?
Yeah, 500.
500 million? Terrence?
I wouldn't tell you if
Are you
I
worth
was.
500 million? Half
You
a
know
billion?
what? You know what?
Are you worth half a Canelo?
You know what? You know what?
Canelo
What is
that
the more richest thing I have in my life?
It's family.
Accomplish my family.
You have 4 children.
Yeah, I have
And
3.
You have 3 children. You have 7?
Yes.
10 kids.
7?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He hasn't stopped.
Yeah. I think
Have you stopped now? Is that enough?
What?
You can have more
kids.
kids? Or?
I don't know.
Really?
If God bless me with another one, then so be it.
What do your kids make of what you do? Because most, when I tell my kids I'm doing an interview today,
Yeah.
I'm doing this, you have to tell your kids, I'm going to get in a ring with this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
Sometimes
beat him up.
my kids want to fight in the school and everything. I said
what do you
them,
say to them?
No. It's that's my job. You don't need to do that in your school. I do that because it's my job.
But you can hardly tell your kids to not, like if they're being bullied or picked on.
No, if they bully them, well,
Bang.
that's different. But there is ways to don't just take care about the business with the fight. Is you can talk and figure out how you're gonna do this and that. If at the end of the day don't listen, okay, it's your choice.
I mean, for you, difficult with your kids, right? Because you settled business when you were young. And look at you now. You're one of the most successful athletes in American sporting history because you didn't take any shit from people. What do you say to your kids if they're getting shit, particularly if they're getting it for being your child?
Well, I just tell them, long as they don't put their hands on you, then, it doesn't matter.
And if they do put hands on you?
Then handle your business, handle your business. My kids, they want to box. My boys, they all want to box, but I won't let them.
You won't?
I won't let them.
Why?
Because boxing is a dangerous sport. And I couldn't imagine watching my kids in a sport that I participated in to make sure that they didn't have to do what I have to do to make it out. They don't have to do that. They can be whatever they want to be in life.
But not a boxer?
Nah, boxing.
Do you feel the same way? Do you know?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I told my boy, I have just one boy. He wants to be a fighter too, and I say, you don't want to be like other soccer player or Formula One pilot or something else, right? No, I wanna be a fighter, and I can do nothing. So if he wanna be a fighter, so I'm gonna try to support at the end because it's not my life, it's his life. At the end of the day, when he have the correct, when he have the age to make decision, he's gonna make the decision. So and like I say, it's not my life, it's his life. If he wanna be a fighter, it's okay. I say wait until you take the first punch and then you tell me would you wanna be a fighter or not.
I've interviewed a lot of people, a lot of athletes, a lot of boxers in my life. You two are right up there with some of the smartest, most thoughtful boxers, athletes, sports people I've ever interviewed. And you both exude a remarkable confidence. But come September 13th, one of you is going to come out of that ring the winner, and one's going to come out the loser. All the talking stops, all the hype stops. You know that. Who's going to win?
Me? I'm glad you pointed to me first.
I was giving you the chance to admit you may not win, but no.
Nah.
You're 100% certain you're going to win.
We never 100%.
What percentage are you?
I'm going to say 70.
Really?
Yeah.
The 2/3 chance you'll win.
Of course. I'm always high on confidence. If you don't have confidence in yourself, then why should anybody else believe in you? I'm the type of person that been told I couldn't do something or I had to move out of Omaha to become something. And just my self-belief in myself and my self-determination has gotten me to where I am now.
And what would it mean to beat Canelo Alvarez, one of the all-time greats of the sport?
Everything. Everything is...
Biggest night of your life?
Everything is riding on this one moment.
This is it for you?
This is it.
This is what you've been waiting for?
That's
Planning?
It. That's it.
Plotting? Looking at pictures of him on your wall?
Nah, I can't say that because Canelo wasn't the guy that I was plotting on. It was Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence. So...
And now it's it?
That's right.
What percentage confidence do you have you're going to beat him?
I guess I have that 30%.
70?
He says 70.
What did you say?
I guess I have that 30%, right? At least I have that 30%. So
I mean, that's quite a concession.
I just need
I thought
1%.
you'd say 100%.
I just need 1% chance. I don't need much.
Just 1% is all you need.
I just need that 1%.
But do you have any doubt in your mind you're going to beat him?
No, I don't have doubt about it.
So you're both 100. I mean, really?
Yeah, of course.
both-
What do you want me to say?
No, listen. It's not me getting in the ring.
Why do you want me to
all
say?
I know is one of you's going to lose.
Why do you want me to say?
I want you to be honest.
I'm gonna win.
No, but it's all about wanting to. Of course, you want
Why
to.
do you want me to say?
Do you believe you're going to
I
win?
believe 100%.
100%.
100%.
So he's 70. You're 100.
100%. So my 100% is that 30 he don't say.
Well,
So that's my 100%.
You're 100% sure you're going to win.
100%.
You're 70% sure you're going to win.
Stay tuned.
What does that tell me?
Stay tuned.
Just watch September 13th.
Guys, it's been a real pleasure. Honestly,
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed this. You're very smart guys. You're very thoughtful. You've been very honest with me. As a boxing fan, I am incredibly excited about this. This is going to be the fight the whole world has been waiting for. I cannot wait to see who wins, and I'm not going to choose a side. I just want to thank you for your time.
No, thank you.
And wish you the best of luck on fight night. Amazing.